Boris Johnson to send 100 million COVID vaccines worldwide as UK fights to end pandemic. Boris Johnson today pledges 100 million COVID vaccine doses to the worldwide fight against the pandemic. At the G7 summit in Cornwall, the Prime Minister will commit the surplus doses from the UK's massive stockpile to encourage world leaders to join coordinated action to vaccinate the world's entire population by the end of the year. The British contribution, funded from the government's £10 billion annual overseas aid budget, is expected to be part of at least 1 billion vaccine doses pledged by the leaders attending the Carbis Bay gathering. Speaking ahead of the first day of the summit today, the Prime Minister said, "Since the start of this pandemic, the UK has led the way in efforts to protect humanity against this deadly disease. Over a year ago we funded the development of the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine on the basis it would be distributed at cost to the world. This unprecedented model, which puts people squarely above profit, means over 500 million doses have been administered in 160 countries so far. As a result of the success of the UK's vaccine program, we are now in a position to share some of our surplus doses with those who need them. In doing so, we will take a massive step towards beating this pandemic for good. At the G7 summit, I hope my fellow leaders will make similar pledges so that, together, we can vaccinate the world by the end of next year and build back better from coronavirus." Mr. Johnson's government will donate 5 million vaccine doses by the end of September for use in the world's poorest countries. The Prime Minister is also committing to donating a further 95 million doses within the next year, including 25 million more by the end of 2021. 8 out of 10 doses of the UK's contribution will go to international vaccine program COVAX, while the rest will go directly to countries in need. Officials insist the surplus doses can be shared without causing any delay to the UK's domestic vaccine rollout or the Vaccine Boost program this autumn. And they point out that vaccinating the rest of the world will help reduce the risk of fresh virus waves hitting the UK and curb the threat posed by the possible growth of vaccine-resistant COVID mutations. Doses of the Oxford-AstraZeneca, Pfizer-BioNTech, Janssen and Moderna vaccines will be included in the UK contribution. The UK helped to establish COVAX last year, and is its fourth biggest donor, pledging £548 million to the scheme. COVAX has so far provided 81 million doses to 129 of the world's poorest countries. 96% of these were the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine, the development of which was funded by the UK. With the support of the UK government, Oxford-AstraZeneca are distributing their vaccines on a not-for-profit basis around the world. Thanks to this commitment, 500 million people have received a dose of the Oxford-AstraZeneca so far. At the G7 summit, leaders will also discuss how to expand the supply of vaccines internationally. Mr. Johnson will ask US President Joe Biden and other G7 leaders to encourage pharmaceutical companies to adopt the Oxford-AstraZeneca model of providing vaccines at cost price for the duration of the pandemic. Pfizer, Moderna and Johnson & Johnson have already pledged to share 1.3 billion doses on a non-profit basis with developing countries. Leaders are expected to discuss additional ways to support countries hit by acute COVID emergencies and new measures to block future pandemics. This weekend's summit is the first in-person gathering of G7 leaders for almost 2 years due to the pandemic. Mr. Johnson, who is hosting the meeting, wants the event to focus on the world COVID recovery and international efforts to build a fairer, greener and more prosperous world.